Hello, good people of the internet. It is I, Gemma, from English with Gemma, the podcast. I forgot my intro. It's the podcast, what is it? The place where we bring English practice into progress? No, where we turn English practice into progress. You know what, guys? Today's episode is sponsored by seasonal depression and being cold. So I'm allowed to be chaotic and not know my intro. Okay. Don't judge me. If you are a listener on Spotify, welcome back. If you are a watcher on YouTube, welcome back and welcome to my jacket. Yes, if you're a visual person and you're on YouTube, you will see that I'm all bundled up. That is one of the phrasal verbs that we are going to look at today. It's actually our first phrasal verb. Why am I bundled up? Why am I wearing a coat for this episode? Well, it's cold. It's getting chillier. We are at the end of November. Well, when I'm recording this, we're at the end of November. When this episode comes out, we will be probably in the second week of December. And it's getting chillier. It's definitely feeling a little bit more festive. And I thought, why not? Why not do? Sorry, the cold air has gotten to my brain. I thought, why not do an episode on winter phrasal verbs or phrasal verbs inspired by the cold and stuff like that. So instead of me just rambling and making no sense, let's get into the episode, shall we? So, like I said, our first phrasal verb is to bundle up, which means to put on a coat or put on warm clothes. Because the weather is cold outside. So, for example, if it's freezing outside, somebody might say, don't forget to bundle up. It's going to be really cold today. You can also say, you better bundle up. It's freezing out there. So this means you need to wear warm clothes like coats, scarves, gloves, stuff like that. So if you live in a cold country, do not forget to bundle up because there is a lot of illnesses going around, viruses. I know a lot of people are getting sick right now, and the cold weather definitely doesn't help with that. Our next phrasal verb is chill out. Chill out. So this, even though it has the word chill, which can mean cold, it doesn't have anything to do with the weather. Chill out means relax or calm down. So if someone is freaking out or like being crazy, you can tell them chill out, like imperative, chill out. You need to chill out. You're telling them to calm down. But you can also use this phrasal verb to mean to relax. For example, after a long weekend, I love to just chill out in bed with a good book. Chill out, relax. In another sense, chill out could also refer to cold atmosphere. So you could say it's really chilly in here. To chill, to be chill, or to be chilly does mean that it's cold. But the phrasal verb chill out does not relate to the weather. Next phrasal verb, to freeze over. This means when something becomes solid because of the cold, when something freezes, when a liquid freezes because of the cold. So this is a pretty literal phrasal verb. Usually just means when water turns to ice because of cold temperatures. So, for example, the lake froze over, past tense. The lake froze over last night. Now it's safe to go skating on it. So if you've ever been ice skating, you are skating on a frozen over lake or body of water. Next example, the windshield of my car froze over this morning, so I had to scrape off the ice. So that's super annoying when the windshield of your car gets frozen and you need to scrape all the ice off so you can see. Next phrasal verb, to be snowed in. Snowed in means you are unable to leave your house because of the snow. If someone is snowed in, it means they literally cannot open their door and get outside because there's too much snow outside. For example, we were snowed in for 3 days last week because of the blizzard. The roads are too dangerous. I think we're going to be snowed in for the night. Now, my dad has a house in Canada, and I think once they were snowed in, they couldn't like leave the house for a few days because they literally couldn't open the door. Like they were completely snowed in. Luckily, that's never happened to me. I wasn't with them, my family in Canada. But yes, it does happen, and it's definitely not fun at all. Have you ever been snowed in before in your country? Let me know in the comments. Next phrasal verb or expression is to break the ice. When we break the ice with someone, we start a conversation and we make someone feel more comfortable. So it's got nothing to do with real ice. To break the ice means to start a conversation. So, when you want to speak to someone, especially in a situation where they might be shy or uncomfortable, that's to break the ice. So, let's look at some examples. I don't know anyone at this party. I'll try to break the ice by talking about the weather. So, I think like 3 podcast episodes ago, I did an episode on small talk. Small talk is a great example of how to break the ice. Small talk just means having conversations about the weather or about uncontroversial topics. So, that's a great way to break the ice with someone to start the conversation by using small talk. So if you're interested in that, have a look at that episode. Go check that out. Next phrasal verb. Actually, not a phrasal verb, just an adjective, just an expression. To have cold feet. So, obviously, if I literally have cold feet, my feet are cold. I have cold feet, and I put on some socks. That's just the literal expression. But this expression has a deeper meaning. To have cold feet can mean to be nervous or feel unsure about something. So, a lot of the time we hear the expression to have cold feet when we're talking about weddings and getting married. A lot of people have cold feet before they get married. They have some doubts, they have some insecurities before they get married. So, let's look at an example. She was excited about the wedding, but she got cold feet at the last minute and almost didn't go through with it. To go through with something means to commit to something, to do something. So somebody was excited about their wedding, but they got cold feet. They were nervous, they were unsure at the last minute, and they almost didn't go through with the wedding. They almost didn't do the wedding. So even though it's got nothing to do with temperature in this context, it's a great phrase to use when talking about hesitation or nervousness. Jack Frost. This is our next expression. It's a poetic way to refer to cold weather. So, Jack Frost is a mythical character who is said to bring cold weather. In a lot of Christmas cartoons and children's stories, Jack Frost is a character and he blows like with his mouth, he blows cold air everywhere. I remember seeing him in a few children Christmas cartoons and being kind of scared of him. So in stories and poems, he's often described as the person or the mythical creature who makes the trees and windows frosty. So you might hear this phrase in songs or literature. For example, in the famous song, how does it go? Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. So you're welcome. So Jack Frost nipping at your nose means the cold weather is making your nose feel cold. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. So, this is a fun and creative way to talk about the cold weather, and it's especially used during the holiday season. Okay. Next phrase is a cold snap. A cold snap is a sudden period of cold weather. So, it's very short and it's just like a few days where you have cold weather. So, for example, we're in the middle of a cold snap. Temperatures are below freezing for the next few days. It's used when there's a brief and sudden drop in temperature. Next one, a nip in the air. This means that there's a sharp cold feeling in the air outside. It means that it's not too cold to be unbearable, but you can feel this like little nip in the air, this little burst of cold weather. So you can say it's a bit nippy outside. It's a bit chilly. It's a bit cold. It's a bit nippy, or there's a nip in the air. So, for example, there's a nip in the air tonight. You might want to bring a jacket. So, it's like a gentle way to say that it's chilly outside and you're not being too dramatic. You're not saying, "Oh my God, it's freezing." You're just saying, it's there's a nip in the air. It's a bit nippy. It's a bit chilly, but it's not freezing. Okay, last phrasal verb or expression is to throw cold water on somebody or something. To throw cold water on means to discourage someone or make them feel less excited or enthusiastic about something. So it doesn't have anything to do with real cold weather, but it does use the idea of coldness to mean discouraging or making someone less excited about something. So, for example, I wanted to go skiing this weekend, but my friend threw cold water on my plans by saying it was too dangerous. So I wanted to do something. I wanted to go skiing, but my friend threw cold water on my plans. So basically, my friend said, that's not a good idea. And they made me feel less enthusiastic and excited about skiing because they said it was too dangerous. So it's a great phrase to use when someone is trying to stop an idea or an enthusiasm from growing. They throw cold water on an idea or they throw cold water on someone. Alrighty, so let's have a quick little recap. We talked about bundle up, which means to dress warmly. We talked about chill out, which means relax or calm down. Next, we had freeze over, which means when water becomes solid because of the cold. Then we had a look at to be snowed in, to be stuck at home because of too much snow outside. Next, we moved on to break the ice, which means to start a conversation or make people feel more comfortable when first meeting them. Then we looked at cold feet, which means to feel nervous or unsure. Next, we talked about Jack Frost nipping at your nose, a poetic reference to cold weather, Jack Frost. Then we moved on to a cold snap, a sudden period of cold weather. Then we looked at a nip in the air, or it's a bit nippy, which means there's a sharp cold feeling in the air, but it's not freezing, it's just a bit chilly. And finally, to throw cold water on someone or someone's plans, which means to discourage or dampen enthusiasm. So I hope you guys felt a little bit wintry and cozy with me in this episode. And I hope you learned some new and useful phrasal verbs and expressions. And until next time, stay warm, stay safe, don't get sick, enjoy the winter, enjoy the holidays. I'm not sure when this episode will come out, but I believe it will be. I don't know if it's before or after Christmas, but anyways, if Christmas has already happened and you celebrate, I hope you had a lovely Christmas. If it hasn't happened yet and you celebrate, I hope you have a lovely Christmas. And if you don't celebrate, I hope that you just have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.